I don't have a Blu-ray. This is good enough. I don't replace all my movies with Blu-rays. Can't afford it. I'm an old guy. I only get $20 a month to live on, so. Anyway, 1964. December. Here in Toronto. 1964. So yes, it's Christmas. Christmas. Actually, it's Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. I'm living on Bleecker Street here in Toronto, in between Sherbourne and Parliament Street. Living on Bleecker Street. Yes. It's Boxing Day. Snowing outside. Of course, back then it always snowed. Not like today. But back then, yeah, it was snowing out. So we're sitting around the house, everybody's doing nothing, you know. It's Boxing Day. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing to do, right? Other than play with your dinky cars and color in your coloring books and whatever. Anyway, I asked my mom, I go, Mom, can I go to the show? She says, go ask your dad. So I go and ask my dad, I go, Dad, can I go to the show? And he says, what does he say? He says, go and ask your mom. So I go and tell my mom, my dad says it's okay. Dad says it's okay, I go to the show. So she says, okay, right? I got my own money, right? I got my own, you know, basically, I got my own money. You know, whatever it was, I had enough money to go to the show. I didn't have enough money to set the world on fire, but I had enough money to set, you know, to go to the show. Boxing Day. So I went to the Carlton Theater on Carlton Street. I walked along Carlton Street, I went to the theater. It was probably, I'd say, yeah, 1:30 in the afternoon, give or take 10, 20 minutes or whatever, right? And the Carlton Theater, I don't think they had foot-long hot dogs, if I remember right. Not that I went to the Carlton Theater that often. I went to the downtown way more. But I ended up at the Carlton Theater on Boxing Day. I went and seen Goldfinger. My first movie, James Bond movie, I seen at the show, right? This is the first one. Although later on, years later, every once in a while, I did see another James Bond movie. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Goldfinger right here, this one right here. Now, I was probably 13 years old. 13-year-old little punky kid going to the show. I'm big enough to go to the show by myself. Yeah. And I don't think this was restricted or anything, because nothing really happened in it. I'm pretty sure I saw it, so I went and seen it, so it couldn't have been that, you know, bad, right? So what happens in the beginning of Goldfinger, right? In the beginning of the movie, he ends up in this bar/drinking establishment. He goes in the back because he's a girl, right? Yeah, you know, a girl. He just starts kissing her up, rubbing her ass, stuff like that, right? Sure. It does, you know, the James Bond shit's going on, right? And, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, oh yeah, and so she's looking that way towards the door. And in her brown eyes, he sees a guy coming in, right? A guy coming in, gonna shoot him. Anyway, right? Of course, that never happens. It can't happen. It's the beginning of the movie. You can't kill James Bond 10 minutes in. You know that ain't gonna happen, right? Right? Not gonna happen, right? So what does he do? There's a fight, right? He ends up throwing him in, you know, the bathtub, right, with the water and shit like that, right? So now the guy's pointing a gun at James Bond, you know, Sean Connery. He's gonna shoot him, right? Gotta shoot him. So what does Sean Connery do? James Bond do? He throws the friggin' electric heater. The heater? I think it was the heater. It looked like a heater. Throws it, you know, kicks it into the water. Yeah, guy's in the bathtub. Right? Yeah. He electrocutes them. Right? Sure. Anyway, that's it. And then he comes along much later down the road. Right? He's in this place, swimming pool, nice drinks, everything, right? Yeah. Goldfinger's there. Comes stepping down the steps and he playing cards and all that. You know, it's the story, right? Anyway, James Bond figures out, you know, this stuff. He goes up to this hotel room. There's this nice little girl in there. Well, I shouldn't say little girl. She's got a bikini on, you know what I'm saying? And she's looking through the, you know, binoculars, checking out the guy's cards. They're down there, Goldfinger and the other saps playing cards, right? And course, the Goldfinger's won $10,000 off him already. So James Bond gets on the receiver and stuff like that. And bang, it hurts Goldfinger's ears, and yeah, so, and he starts fooling around with the girl, and one thing leads to another, as I always say, because it does. Yeah, so the odd job comes up and knocks the shit out of Bond, and he's laying on the floor. He walks into the room, and yeah, the young girl's laying on the bed. Very nice paint job. Very nice paint. There's no paint on the sheets, the floor, the doors, the windows, the lamps. There's just gold paint on this girl, right? They did a lovely job, right? Gold paint on the girl. She's dead, of course, right? You can't have gold paint on you unless you leave room to breathe. And they do. Odd Job didn't. I'm pretty sure Odd Job knocked her off, right? Anyway, so yeah, it was James Bond's fault that the girl died. Yeah, you blame the shit all on him, right? That's what happens. So moving on down the road a little bit, yeah, they're gonna, the idea behind this, right, is they're gonna, blow up the friggin' gold, right? They're, get rid of the gold, blow it all up, right? So it's cause havoc in the money situation in the United States, right? They got no gold, they got nothing, right? And he's got a lot of money, he's got a lot of gold, so they're gonna have to go to him for gold and everything, right? So he's a bad guy. That's what they call him, goldfinger. Yeah, Shirley Bassey, lovely song. One of the better ones in all the James Bond movies. Top. Anyway, yeah, so it gets to, the movie, and the girls that flying the airplanes, they're going over top, right? And they're, knocking all these guys out, they're all passing out, they're fainting, right? And Goldfinger's guys come in and they take over, right? And they get in there and they got a bomb going on, and if you haven't seen the movie, I can't tell you much more about it, right? So their bomb's gonna blow up, right? So James Bond, he's gonna try and save the day. But Odd Job's there, man. Odd Job, Odd Job? Yeah. He's gonna throw his hat at James Bond. Boom! Friggin' hat misses, right? And what happens? You ever think about it? The beginning of the movie, 10 minutes in, right? Bond electrocutes the guy in the bathtub, right? Right. And you know what happens at the end of the movie? Odd Job, he's kicking the shit out of Bond, right? Throws Bond across the floor. Bond picks up this electric wire. Of course, it's got rubber on it, right? So he doesn't hurt himself, right? And he electrocutes Odd Job. Yeah, Odd Job's standing there going. You ever stop to think about that one? The beginning of the movie, Bond executes a stupid idiot that ended up in the water, and at the end of the movie, he electrocutes Odd Job. James Bond. Snowing. It was a winter day. It was full of snow. I lived on Bleecker Street, just above the house. That house with the big windows in the front belonged to the church, eh? There was a church on there, right? And people lived in. We used to go there on the weekends, and kids used to hang out there and play records and. All the Leaves Are Brown, Mums and Papas. That's the first time I heard that. But that's another video. So James Bond, Goldfinger, my first James Bond movie. I saw at the show and I was 13 years old. I had a great time. Yeah, first James Bond movie. And like I said, I saw some other ones probably over the years, but I never saw every one of them, of course not, but this is my first one. Memories of James Bond. Yep. Honor Blackman plays Pussy Galore. I think she just passed away a while ago, did she not? Guy Hamilton, directed it. It was a first James Bond blockbuster movie. Made $3 million. They paid to make it. They made it, but I finished making the movie. They spent $3 million, and it made $125 million. Classified as the first James Bond blockbuster. Yeah, Boxing Day. Me, 13 years old, went and seen James Bond on Boxing Day. That's my take on James Bond. Talk to you later, people. Stay safe. Keep watching those movies.